Channel 5's John Kosich live on Seymour Avenue tonight with the latest. John.
Yeah, Chris, Ariel Castro was sentenced to spend life in prison plus 1,000 years. It didn't last 1,000 hours. And tonight, his death in prison is raising questions about how closely he was watched. Whether it's in county jails or in state prisons, inmates are constantly being watched.
With all of our inmates here, we do it every 20 minutes, but with guys that are suicidal, we check those every 10 minutes.
Suicide attempts are not uncommon. Successful attempts are.
Just last week, a deputy caught a guy with a noose around his neck, and the week before that, he caught a guy with a noose around his neck.
It's not easy. There's very little to tie a bedsheet to. No doorknobs. Fixtures are tapered. Toilet paper holders designed to give. Still, they find ways.
There's beds that they can fashion a sheet through it. There's a sink in there that if they really wanted to, they could tie around the sink.
Deputies are trained in what to look for in terms of mood swings, changes in demeanor, but very often,
if they're going to do it, they're not going to threaten it. They're just going to do it.
The state has promised an investigation into Castro's death. His attorney says one is needed.
This is the second suicide in a very high-profile case in the Ohio prison system in the last 30 days.
The other being Billy Slagle, who hanged himself last month, just days before he was to be executed for a 1987 Cuyahoga County murder.
Ultimately, from a community standpoint, nobody cares. It's a guy that was going to spend the rest of his life in prison. Slagle was going to die. So who cares? But I think that someone needs to ask some questions. This isn't about any lawsuit. This is about giving finality to the family so they can have their own closure and to understand if this was a suicide, then they can live with it.
And tonight, the state is calling for that investigation into Castro's death to be wrapped up by the end of the month. Reporting live in Cleveland, John Kosich, News Channel 5.